I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Brian Giles with Brian Giles MTG, and this is MTG time. Whoops, dropped a little bit of tea on my shirt. Whoopsie. And today we're going to ask the question, has Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast gotten the clue? Because they're coming out with the new set in February of Murders at Karloff Manor, with the crossover to the classic board game Clue. But have they really gotten the clue? Are they really starting to do things right? We're going to talk about that today. So let's have some tea and let's talk about Magic the Gathering. So, Murder at Karloff Manor. We've gotten a little bit of a teaser about what's going on there. There's some sort of murders that have been going on, and they're trying to figure out who done it. Well, of course, the classic board game Clue is a product of Hasbro, which owns Wizards of the Coast. So they decided to do a crossover. And in this set, they're not doing any real special foiling, but they are doing some serial numbered cards. With the Ravnica border we saw in the March of the Machine, the cards that they had in the for the creatures, and we're seeing some more of those, and those will be featured as the with the Ravnica frame, which is I really like that, because they didn't have any type of special frames for Ravnica back then, for their showcase. So I like that they're doing less special frames. The serial numbers is always a chase. It's a good chase, and I think that they're doing a more limited number, because 500, lots of people could get it. 250, that's okay. The 100, and this is another part that I think that that Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro have really done right, is that when they came out with the Lord of the Rings special edition, and their special cards for that were the poster cards, which were like trippy 70s posters looking renditions of the card. This is like it was straight out of the 70s, So that that was a win, and they did it for those cards, those poster cards. They did serial numbered cards only to 100, which is so much more of a chase. It's so hard to get those, the serial numbered one of those. And, if you get one, it's like, super valuable. So these cards, you want, on your shelf with your good, valuable cards. So those are nice. They did with the the special edition. They did good with that, with the Lord of the Rings special edition. They did good with that. You had the poster cards, and the limited number serial edition, and the treatment they did for the scroll treatment that they did for the regular cards was very nice. I like that. They probably should have done that as the showcase for that set. But, I guess, because of licensing rights, they can only do so much, over so much of a time. And that's why they wanted to release this later over the holiday season to be, more of a holiday, gift type thing. So I liked that. Also the scene sets were very nice. You got 6 cards, and with the matching art cards and an easel to display that on. I got one myself because I wanted to get one, and I liked some of the cards in there. And of course, you can get those scene collections in the special edition packs of the collector packs of the special edition. But you can only get one at a time. And it's nice that they added in like some extra cards in there that weren't in the original set, and some extra the Surge foil is becoming kind of the new foil type thing. That they started with the Warhammer, and they brought it in with some of the other their special sets like Doctor Who and here in the Lord of the Rings special edition. But you get some of that, these extra, Realms and Relics type box toppers, and they added in a few more cards in there. So there's some more chase in there, some more reasons to buy those packs. And with the Clue set, what they did with Clue, which I think was very good, what I expected them to do was to, instead of having having the Clue characters and the weapons and the locations, I thought that they were just going to do reskins like they've done in the past, like they did with the Lord of the Rings. They did reskins for their Realms and Relics. However, what they did do is they made unique weapons, unique characters, and they have the Clue set as a separate game set that you can play outside, and you get the cards that you can play in Magic the Gathering. So they've done it better than they did with the Dungeons and Dragons. And I think the dice rolling is what turned a lot of people off to that. And a lot of people complain about dice rolling because dice and cards don't mix. They're two separate, game things, and you don't mix cards and dice. And I think that's a real turn off. So I think they've learned from that they make, because Clue is a board game, and they can use the cards as game pieces. Again, we're going to get into that in a moment. What WoTC and Hasbro has not had a clue about. So they made it as game pieces that they can use in the Clue game, and you can transfer them over and then go play a game of Magic with the cards that you have from your Clue game. So that's a thumbs up. It's better. It's a step in the right direction. However, now we move on to what they haven't got a clue about. Recently, as of the filming of this video on December 14th of 2023, Hasbro has sliced across the board 20% of its workforce because they are not performing well in other other reasons of their business. I mean, Magic is doing okay, but it's still having trouble because of what they're doing wrong. And what they are doing wrong is reprints after reprints after reprints. I mentioned it in my Ravnica Remastered video. There's a number of reprints in there that people will probably not be happy about. Also, the continuation of set after set after set after set. They keep telling you, oh, only buy these sets that you're interested in. Well, for people like me, who was brought up in old school Magic the Gathering, back in the day, 93, 94, they started out with, expansion sets, but it was like you had to have the cards for each set because each set had some things that were playable and usable to every player that wanted them. Now there were some bad sets in the beginning. We're talking to you, Fallen Empires, Homelands, Alliances. But it was the beginning, and they were still learning about cards and card values and what should be what. But now it's 30 years down the road. We know what should be what, and we know what cards are powerful, what cards should be restricted or banned. Thing that they haven't got is, they keep putting out all these sets, yeah, sure, you've got modern set, reprint sets, standard sets. One thing, and there might be some people that will have issues with this. One thing they've done that I think probably isn't the best is switching to the play boosters instead of keeping with a draft or and a collector type format. That worked well with Time Spell Road Masters. You had draft, you had one card. You didn't even have collectors with that. With any of the other Dominaria Remastered, you had draft and collectors. I mean, that's how it always was. You had special cards for the people who want to collect, and you had draft cards for the people who wanted to play. The set was designed for people to collect cards that were older, that were harder to get for the average player. But they really didn't do that right because a lot of the set cards were the list cards were absolutely trash cards. Lots of commons and uncommons that weren't really useful or playable, especially in the formats that they were presented in. And that's what I think they're still not getting right. I mean, how do you construct a draft from a pack that is designed to be kind of like a set pack, which the play boosters are? You get one less card. It's just because you can't really play the the set card in a draft. So I'm interested. That's why I think it's just not a good idea to go this route. Also, another thing that Hasbro and WoTC have not gotten a clue about is basically the game itself. It is a collectible card game. It is designed to have value. They knew that from the beginning. That's why they created the reserve list. And we'll circle back to that in a moment. But the people that are running Hasbro and WoTC right now see it as a card game with game pieces. And everybody's supposed to be able to have access to the game pieces. Because you see this in online games, even though, you got the microtransactions so that you can get the super fancy special characters and gear and all that. Sparkle, 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 sparkle. What they don't see is they don't see that this is a collectible thing, and they knew that from the beginning. That's why the reserve list was created. But now the reserve list is it's not as relevant as it was back then. They need to create a different kind of reserve list for cards that are collectible in nature and need to retain the value. Something where you can only reprint a standard set every 3 years and a modern set every 5 years, or vice versa. That you can't reprint the cards even on the list. And I really think the list should be eliminated. It doesn't do anything for the game. As drafting players, as collectors, the cards on the list are usually always less valuable than the originals. So, also, one other thing before we circle back to the reserve list and eliminating that, is that they should have something that's that you can have a reserve list that is cards that can't be reprinted, and they should have cards that you can't keep printing more, set after set after set after set after set, back to back to back, 3 weeks after one set comes out, another set comes out. They need to back down and slow the releases, build the anticipation, build the player base. And by eliminating the reserve list and the list itself and replacing it with something that guarantees that certain cards won't be reprinted for 3 to 5 years, enhances the value of the cards, enhances the desire to get those sets. And also, one other thing that they need to get is they need to slow down the amount of printing of sets. Because that's what's killing some of the value. Because you've got millions and millions of boxes out there, and people are getting the stuff, and the only thing that's retaining any of the value is like the limited number cards, like the serial numbers, or the Super Chase cards, Super Chase foil cards. So that's what they're not doing. And this is my view on have Hasbro WoTC got a clue? Maybe a tiny step, yes, but there's still a long way to go. This has been MTG. Brian Giles signing off.